Welcome everybody to the second video of Friday. This one is going to be focused on total number of shards. As you know, this month there are two types of crystals. There's lots of shards on offer, like a hell of a stonking amount on offer from the Women of Power crystal and as well the Metal and Mutant crystal. You'll really find coming into the last weeks of the month. So what was it, like week like ending like the 31st, going especially into the last week of the first week of April. You're definitely going to see some kind of like huge amount of shards in these particular areas. But I thought what I'd do in this video is break things down and kind of go over the how much you're expected to see by the end of it, because people want to know, I want to know, and all that stuff. So as a lot you know, you get the Women of Power shards by doing, first of all, the Women of Power solo event, which a lot of people just smashed out very, very easily, and that's just by using certain female-based champions. The other way is to do stuff by the objectives, and I'm not sure of the volume of everybody here, but from a legendary perspective, this is what I get right there, so it's there. There's also the calendar for Women of Power, so there's a Women of Power calendar to bear in mind, and that runs as it says right here. Whereas it was the calendar runs from March 9th to April 6th, and so there's there. But also there's the Metal and Mutant. Okay, with Metal and Mutant, it's a case of like the objectives, which I've did a video on it yesterday, and as well there is a huge chunk that is on offer from doing the side quest, which is Prime Sentinel reprogramming. And all that adds up, okay? I've explained the premise right there. I've also done like a video. If you go back to my side quest video, there is a link to this spreadsheet. I don't know if anybody really wanted it, but I did get asked a few people for it, so maybe I'll do that in future. That breaks down the totals of things, and in particular, kind of like showcases that if you complete all difficulties each week, you get 24,000 crystal shards, which adds up to a huge stonking amount. Now, putting all of that info together, it leaves us with this. If I can bring this into shot right here. So I've done the working, first of all, of this, just so I'm not going, completely nuts. I'm nuts, but I'm not completely nuts. At least to show that there is a working to it. So the objectives, which a lot of people have done, if you followed the video yesterday, it's pretty doable. You get 4,000 shards, which is one crystal. Okay. You've also got the side event, which is the Metal and Mutant one that you get at the end of it. It totals 96,000 if you are Cavalier and upwards and do legendary difficulty. Excuse me. Then you get 96,000. A little bit less if you're Uncollected, and we'll factor in those sums in a moment. But that gives you an idea there. So that's like 100,000. But as I said, different progressions will get different things. And then you've got this. So you've got the Women of Power. The Women of Power has the objectives, which for me totals 4,000. Don't know if I want to say it's the case for everybody that it totals 4,000. Put it in the comment section if it's the case that you get 4,000. The solo event, which is pretty doable, you get 16,000. That is indeed confirmed by Kabam right there. 16,000 right there. So that's confirmed. So that's fine. And then you've got the calendar. The calendar is 2,000 per 7-day rotation, and it should be a case that you get, he says, 4 weeks of it, especially going up until the 6th of April. So I'll just get my calendar in shot, just to kind of like showcase that there. Yeah, so it goes from like the 10th and goes around there to 17th, 24th, 31st, and then I think it's the 6th. I think it all works out that it's going to be that. It could be a case you earn 650 shards less. I doubt it, because it's all meant to kind of add up to a certain value. But Kabam do run those kind of like spending deals from time to time. The ones, if you go to your your store, that there's kind of like normally something here that says with Cavalier you get X amount. Usually it's increments of 6,000 and 4,000 respectively. So you do at the end of the day when it comes to your purchasing habits in the game. And yeah, I mean, look, final totals now. Let's kind of do that. So the final totals for all of this does add up quite nicely. Let's bring it into shot right here. So for the Women of Power, it's going to be 28,000 crystal shards, which equate to 7 crystals total. Metal and Mutant, all of this is free to play, by the way, that I'm focusing on. Thronebreaker and Cavalier players that do the objectives, side event, and calendar. That's 100,000 Metal and Mutant crystal shards. Yes, and I don't think that, I think that's going to be the case, because the way that the volume that, you know, even I've got from doing the stuff that I've got like now, I've got 26,000. I haven't even done all of the side event for week 1, and I've got to go back and do that in a moment. But that kind of again gives you the idea of like, this is going to be a stonking amount. And this could balance the tip the balance a little bit, because the side quest, when I did the totals, the 6-star shard volume is 6,800, which isn't a huge amount for players, especially when the previous month was about 13,000 6-star shards. So that gives you a real idea about, you know, well, we need, a lot of players do be wanting a high volume of stuff. But that's good. 25 is a stonking amount. I'm looking forward to making a video on that one towards the end of the month, once I've got all of the stuff. And then we've got Uncollected. Now, this is important as well. If you're Uncollected and do the objective, side event, and calendar, well, not the calendar, that is, not for Metal and Mutant. I'm going to edit out that in any case, but you know what I mean, right? From doing all this stuff, you get 76,000. So that's 19 crystals. That's still quite a nice amount, especially for those that are just going to be able to do Uncollected and get those Grandmaster crystal shards for those that have it. So yeah, that's good. And for those that decide to spend, you will get yourself 74,000 crystal shards, you know, for the 6,000 a time, 18.5 crystals, because we're back to the 4,000 per crystal increments. And because that, you know, it's a bit sad, but I get why Kabam want to do that, because it is, you know, they've given us a lot more shards to acquire this time. And then as well, we got 7 crystals for those that do the Grandmaster daily deals as well. So that gives you the idea, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we're up to with the extent of how many shards you can expect to get in for the Women of Power crystal, and as well the Cavalier Metal and Mutant crystal. So those two there for your grind habits. Thank you very much. That is it. I don't know if there's going to be another video today. There is going to be a sponsored video. There's going to be a fun little game that's going to be played on the channel a little bit later on. But apart from that, it's very much key. So I'm just going to work on my weekend stuff, like top 5 tips of the month, as well as other kind of like information and fun videos, especially taking in certain champions to Cavalier difficulty. And then next week I'm going to be working on X 7.3 and doing some content around that. Maybe a Cavalier challenge, and then maybe a Koreans challenge. I don't know, it depends on timing. But in any case, check out some other content located on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that will be. Much love. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.